reason to come. The world's greatest radio.
We give you a reason to stay.
Radio, the way it should be heard.
You got the power.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of TalkTainmentRadio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
This is the Wellness Spot, and I'm TONYA KERRIN. Wellness is a choice, is a choice, is a choice, is a choice. Wellness is a choice. TalkTainmentRadio.com. We go where you go. The world's greatest radio. Radio the way it should be heard. And you're in tune with the Wellness Spot, and I'm Tank the Nurse, talking about water. My favorite subject, water. Those that know me know that I just think we should always drink water. But unfortunately, a lot of us are not even drinking water. We think we're drinking water. We're drinking a clear substance that may look pure, it may taste pure, it may smell pure, but you still are not drinking water. The chemical makeup of water is H2O, 2 hydrogen molecules to 1 oxygen molecule. That is the chemical structure of water. You can check that with anyone that knows chemistry and anyone that understands science. And they will tell you, if you want water, you need 2 hydrogen molecules to 1 oxygen molecule, H2O. So I found a new friend all the way from Cleveland, Ohio. Evan Dutcher is here with me from Pure Water Technology to help me have fun talking about water. Thank you for being here, Evan.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Now, he's from Pure Water Technology, so he's going to help me explain why water is important. And for those that have doubted in the past, when they say to me as a nurse, this ails them or that ails them, and I say, well, are you drinking water? And they just shake their head. Or say my 3 sons, they have a running joke that, anything that you come up to mom and say, it could even be a sprained ankle. If you go to mom and say this, she's going to say, drink water. If you say that, mom's going to say, drink water. Water is life force energy. It is the key to life. Our entire body needs water. So before I get started, I want to just lay some groundwork for everybody and why I asked Evan to be with me today. Not only because I love talking about water and I think it's key to your health, it's one of the most basic things that we can do to rid our body of anything that affects health and wellness. But did you know that Columbus ranks number 9 as in the U.S. for having chromium-6 in their water? Number 9. We have a water source, and a lot of people get misguided because they may test the water, but there are certain things that they cannot test for water. And recently, I don't know if Evan knows this, but a Ohio State student created a test where he can check for pharmaceutical and for different things in water, and he found that in Columbus we had a lot of pharmaceuticals found in our water source, and we also have a recent thing in the dispatch that Evan can tell us about where they found lead in our water. And any heavy metal in your body is not good, and it needs to be removed. If you don't do anything to remove heavy metals from your body, they wreak havoc to your health and wellness. They lead to multiple problems in our health.
With the lead in the water, Columbus Dispatch released back in January a little script about lead being in our local schools, a lot of the older buildings that we have that kids still go to school today. They did testing and found that there's lead in the city's water. We've contacted some schools in Columbus, and there is some teacher lounges that have water systems provided for the staff, but nothing really in place for the children to take care of the lead situation.
Right, and lead is not good. I always talk, Evan, about the 27 elements that are found in living things. Mm-hmm. And out of those 27 elements, the 5 that are key for life, but when it comes to heavy metal like lead, mercury, copper, all of these heavy metals, aluminum, they are not supposed to be in our bodies in excess amounts. And if we have them in our bodies, we are assured that they will wreak havoc, they will cause dis-ease in our body, and they will cause problems. We have to do something to remove those heavy metals from our body.
Absolutely. And
guess what helps to remove anything from our body?
What's that?
Water.
Absolutely.
Water is the best solvent. It's the number one solvent. Water helps your body release toxins, release minerals, release anything that should not be in the body. It is done through water. So people say, why water? I talk a lot about food, and I talk a lot about how we eat, but do you know that the body can survive without food, but it cannot survive without water?
Absolutely.
Our brains need water, our heart, our muscles, everything needs water. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
So that one thing that a lot of people think that they are drinking water, they go and I drink vitamin water, or I drink, I don't know, all the different types of water. Water is such a huge industry. It's like $1 billion industry.
Absolutely.
Did you know that?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't realize that they are being duped. And I hate to say that word, but we're being duped.
Absolutely.
Because when you add magnesium, if you add calcium, if you add sodium, potassium, if you add anything to water, you have now changed the chemical structure and it's no longer water, right? I mean, that's pretty simple.
Yep.
Water is H2O, so if you add potassium, it's now a water solution. It's not water.
Right.
So, tell me, you said that pure water came to us from Cleveland. Tell me a little bit about pure water.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pure Water is based out of Cleveland, Ohio. The owner is Thomas Skrull. He started the business in 2005, where he's just started up and wanted to implement a solution for good drinking, healthy water for businesses strictly in the Cleveland area. He then in 2006 moved down to Georgia in Atlanta, opened up a branch there, where we've been very successful down there. And then just in 2016, he opened up a branch in Columbus, Ohio, so where we can take care of all of our Columbus, Ohioans and all the businesses here, because there's tons of companies and businesses that need good, healthy drinking water.
We all need. And can I say this?
Yeah.
Do you know most people have not even had a glass of water? They think they have, but they have not had water. So a lot of people have not had water. And they'll say, I drink a lot of water. No, you haven't even had a glass of water. And I can tell you from experience, when you drink a glass of pure water, you can tell the difference. It actually absorbs within your cells within 10 seconds.
Absolutely.
Now, what's the oxygen rate in your water?
So our water is 120% more oxygenated than regular drinking water. So other than oxygen, or other than water being a vital nutrient to our body, oxygen's number 2. So
That's right.
having oxygenated water is really good.
A lot of people didn't know this, and I don't know if you did,
Uh-huh.
but if you start your day with some nice deep breaths, purposeful breathing, and with water, there is actually a schedule that I will post that if you drink, say for example, and I'm just saying this off the top of my head, 250 milliliters of water as soon as you wake up. And that can be warm room temperature. And then 2 hours later you drink, another 250. And then, during breakfast, you drink another. You can lose weight just by breathing and drinking water.
Absolutely.
Not adding anything else, not taking on any chemicals, not going to find any quick screen method out here that will help you. Just those two, because those are, like you said, the two key elements, oxygen and water.
Absolutely.
And now this water is super oxygenated. What do our cells need more than anything? Water and oxygen. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So, you said a little bit about the owner, and you said that what made him, do you have the answer, what made him get into water?
I do know that, so the manufacturer of our units is called PHSI. They're out of Illinois. That's where they're manufactured. And Tom Skrull set out back in 2000, probably earlier than 2005, looking for businesses that he wanted to possibly get into and sell their product. So his number one rule of thumb was, I got to find a product that I can stand by,
Right.
and that I know that people will fall in love with, and that it's true. So I think there's a lot of products out there that we can sell and take care of in industries, but selling a system that is for businesses only, that can really take care of companies just with simple hydration, I think that's what he fell in love with, and that's when he started in 2005. So.
I need to meet him.
Yeah,
now,
he's a
let
great
me
guy.
let me say this. You know why I want to meet him? Because you said some powerful things. You said he wanted a product that he could stand behind.
Absolutely.
There is nothing better than water. And on a medical, let me just say this on a medical side. On a medical side, when you go to the hospital and you are at your weakest point and you're really sick, what do? They usually will no more eating, and they will give you an IV, an infusion of water.
Yep.
And typically, you may stay on that infusion of water for a long time and be okay and actually feel great, because majority of Americans are dehydrated. Most disease is a disease of body drought or dehydration.
Right.
And you said that he was in search for a good product. Let me say a little bit about false types of water. Do you know that there are actually 9 different types of water? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Okay. Well, this is Tank the Nurse, so I'm going to help you know about these 9 types of water.
Okay.
So, all water is not the same. So, the different types of water are hard water, which we all know we don't need any type of hard water, not even to bathe in, not to wash our clothes in, not to drink. We do not need hard water. Then there is raw water and boiled water, soft water, rain water, snow water, which we all are enjoying when the snow melts. And then there's filtered water, deionized water, distilled water. So, when we say that all water is not the same, that is true.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't know, again, that they are dehydrated and that their body needs pure water.
Yep.
Would you say that?
Absolutely.
So, see, that was easy, right?
Pure oxygenated water.
There you go. Pure oxygenated water. Hard water is water that contains a lot of lime salts. It is carbon and carbonates, sulfates, calcium, magnesium. And when I start to talk about those things, you know what people really need to understand, there are some organic minerals and some inorganic minerals. Plants need inorganic minerals that come from water like that, because those things feed our plants. And what do our plants do? They grow and they give off oxygen. Then we take in that oxygen and we give off carbon dioxide. But we don't need the inorganic minerals in the same way that plants do. So that's why some water sources are okay for plants, but they're not okay for man.
Right.
We need pure water. I like the name he came up. I wonder how he got that name.
That I do not know.
Oh, okay. Well, people can now come to Tank to get pure water.
Absolutely.
See how that goes together?
Yeah.
Get pure water from the tank. I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
So, tell me something about the human body, because when I met you, you were able to tell me, and a lot of people don't realize how much water each organ, because you were saying a little bit about the brain. You know, the brain needs a lot of water.
So our bodies consume about 70% of water intake. And there's obviously different parts of our brain, or different parts of our body, the brain, the bones, the muscles, the liver, that requires water.
Excuse me, my son didn't believe this, but bones need water.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure he watches this. That's right. Make sure he watches this.
So typically, most importantly, is our brain, and it's taken up with 75% of oxygen, or of water. And then next most importantly would be our blood. A lot of people don't know that, but our blood requires oxygen and it requires water.
Yes.
To be viable for our body.
That's right. That's right. And do you, again, not sure if you know this, but the water that we're talking about, pure oxygenated water, can get within the cells within 10 seconds.
I did know that.
You know? And so that is helping our cells go from a unhealthy cell that is dehydrated, that is not able to carry nutrients, and then being super oxygenated.
Right.
Those oxygenated, healthy cells travel to our bones, our tissues, our brain, and so much can happen. And then when that water then flows through our lymphatic system and takes out the toxins, it's all done.
Absolutely.
We can just say, that was easy.
Absolutely.
It's all done.
And going back with the health aspect of it, and as you were saying earlier with, going to the hospital, what's the first thing they do is they ask you, have you had anything to drink lately? Are you dehydrated? When's the last time you drank? They don't really care what you've eaten, because as long as your body is able to take in that water, that's what's most important.
That's true. That's true. Water serves the purpose to regulate temperature, and it acts as a solvent. Pure water is evaporation from the clouds, and then it falls. But the problem that we have with spring water and mountain water and things of that is the chemicals. The chemicals in our environment, the chemicals in the air, the chemicals in the soil. Everything has contaminants now, so that affects our water, and those things get in the water.
Absolutely.
So that's why we really need to find a pure water source. And it's amazing to me that people in the United States, I mean, just look what's happened in Michigan and different states where, it has been revealed how poor the water source is.
Absolutely.
We just always think, not a good water source in other countries. We don't look at here within our own country. But, you can go to the store and just look at all the bottles of water that are on the shelf.
Yeah. People don't realize, in the United States, water is so viable because we can just go in our kitchen and turn on the faucet. But it's the real good quality of water that you're getting. How good is it? And I can tell you it's not.
It's not, is
it's
it?
not good. And then with, where was I going here?
Well, that's okay. Well, let me tell you this a little bit more about water. Water, it regulates the temperature of the body. It helps take off anywhere from 3,000 calories. You know, we lose water in our perspiration, you know, in our activity. So a lot of people will say, I'm not dehydrated. I didn't do a whole lot. You don't have to do a whole lot. When you breathe off water. When we, you know, sweat, and even if we're not sweating, we are still releasing water in all of our movements, our lymph system, you know. So a lot of us start from underneath the scale. We're already below.
Right.
And some people say you should drink half your body weight in water. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should drink 50 ounces of water. Well, that's when you're not drinking real water. But if you drink pure water, honestly, you don't have to drink as much.
Right.
Especially because of the superoxygenation of the water, you can drink less and get more done and just feel amazing. That fog head, the joints will start to be lubricated and feel well. The brain will be alert. It will be happy.
Yeah. Your eyes will feel good.
Yes.
No longer dry eyes.
That's right. You can see better. You know, a lot of things are done by that water solvent, that natural solvent, flushing toxins out of your body.
Absolutely.
And getting rid of dis-ease in the body. So I want to talk about dis-ease. It's due to waste, toxins, poisons, and they can be washed out by natural, pure. I like that. I'm just going to keep saying that. Natural, pure water. Pure water can help flush your body. No matter what ails it. Water. Unfortunately, we drink a lot of other drinks. You know, I'm not going to get on that bandwagon because I could stay there for a minute, you know, because there's so many chemicals, and I don't want to just, you know, say names like soda or soda or soda, you know. But some people think that, you know, they're okay, but we're not. We really need water.
Right.
And clear water, not Kool-Aid, not tea.
With those little packets.
No, not the packets. We really just need a glass of water. And actually, it's good if it's room temperature, to be honest.
Really?
Because room temperature water really does well for the body. You know, it goes back to if our bodies are hot or cold, but you just cannot go wrong with a good glass of water.
Absolutely not.
With no lemon from the restaurant. But that's just Tank saying that part. So I want to tell you that on the average person drinks about a gallon of water per day. They add that up with a cup of coffee, tea, soft drinks, food. But this gallon isn't too much. Many men drink more. A gallon a day, the average person drinks up to 450 glasses of solids during a lifespan. Now, I can tell you I drink more because I'm always carrying a bottle of pure water with me. So I leave my house with tons of water and I come back with empty bottles. I like to add essential oils to my water, but that makes them taste good. It helps my body because when you add essential oils along with your water solution, your water, it allows that oil to get into your body, into your cells faster also. Oh, wow. And the oils work better when your body is hydrated. You have 100 trillion cells, so I have a lot of happy cells in my body. Yeah. Just a lot of happy watered cells.
That's very good.
So something else that I wanted to talk about. So you mentioned the types of water. You came when I met you. You had this little meter, and you could tell me the TDS or the ppms in water. How I could tell if my water was good or not. Tell me just a little bit about that test.
So the TDS meter, you can actually purchase it at any local store.
I went and bought me one.
Did you? Okay.
Yes, I'm armed and dangerous. I'll say this before I let you finish that. When I go places, I actually will not drink everybody's water.
Oh, I won't either.
I bring my pure water
Yeah.
with me in my water bottle. Okay.
Yep. So the TDS meter is also known as total dissolved solids. It measures high metals in your water, whether it be aluminums, mercuries, arsenics.
I forgot about arsenic.
Uh-huh. And what it does is it tells us how basically concentrated it is, I guess you could say. And so when I met her, we always do this little test called TDS test, where we check and see what her tap water is coming out of her tap, and then we just test whatever drinking water that she's drinking.
So you took one of my bottles of not so good water.
Yeah.
I try not to use negative words because I used to call it bad water, but then I said, no, don't do that. So not so good water.
Right. And hers tested around, I think it was 177, which EPA standards, it's considered okay. It's marginally acceptable. But if you want true purified drinking water, it's got to be under 50. I don't know if you knew that or not. So I tested her good water, and hers came out about 1.
Right.
Which is very good. Obviously, you're not going to get every single impurity out of your water, but true, strictly purified water, it's got to be under 50.
Right. And, and that's really important because when you coming down with something, if you drink water, man is the sickest animal. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. And you know why? Man is the only animal that... Think about this. When an animal gets sick, I don't know if you had a dog or
yeah.
I'm a dog lover.
Me too.
When a dog gets sick, guess what they do? They go outside, they eat grass, and they go and lay down.
Yeah.
They won't eat. They will just drink and rest. We don't do that.
No.
Have you ever noticed that when you go to the hospital, they give you more sugar? And we refuse to give our digestive system a break and just drink water. So that's one reason why man is the sickest animal.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And we think that we're the most intelligent, but if we watch animals, when they're not feeling well, they rest.
Yeah.
They rest their digestive system and they drink water.
Yeah.
And they know how to find good water. If there's a bad water source and a good water source, you don't have to identify and label them.
Right.
They will go directly to the good water source.
Yep.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
All
Learn
animals.
something new every day.
Yeah, all animals do that. So let me tell you a few facts about water. Okay, so now your water is 120% oxygenated. So I would say it has a marginal amount of hydrogen and a super amount of oxygen, which makes it very good for our cells. When water is turned into a vapor, then all the impurities are left behind. So when we have pure water, it does not have any impurities. And the way that your system works, which really made me impressed with it, is it doesn't allow those impurities to remain in a filter.
Right.
They actually go right back down the drain.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have actually a 6-step purifying process. It goes through 4 filters. Your first filter is going to be your sediment filter, so it helps with taking out the rust, the dirts, the sediments. And then it runs it through another filter called a carbon block filter. This is what a lot of Brita pitchers have. A lot of people that want filtered water, this is kind of what it does. And it takes care of the your organics. So your chemicals, your solvents, your chlorines.
So Evan, we'll be right back, and we're going to help people understand why pure water from the tank. We'll be right back.
KERRIN Talk Show. Dial 1-877-932-9766 and join the conversation here on TalkTainmentRadio.com.
Are you ready for a high school that allows you to work at a pace that is right for you? Are you ready to earn certification in healthcare, business, or manufacturing while achieving your high school diploma? Then you're ready for Life Skills High School, a free public option for Ohio students 16 to 21 years old. Learn more about your free high school educational options at lifeskillshs.org or call them at 1-800-888-7992. That's 1-800-888-7992. Life Skills High School, education that fits your life.
This is Al Edmondson, owner of a Cutter Brother Rest Barbershop. I'm calling on all barbers and beauticians. It's time for us to unite as one. We can serve our communities better together. Join the Ohio Black Barber Beauty Network. For more information, visit www.obbn.org or call 614-427-3226 to get more information. Be the change that you want to see in your community. Join.
Have you ever dreamed of being a karate master? Well, stop dreaming and start chopping with the Karate Glove.
Hi, my name's Molly, inventor of the Karate Glove, and I have just 1.5 words for you. Hi-ya!
The Karate Glove chops through anything. Just put it on and instantly chop through wood, concrete, brick walls, trees, small cars. It can even chop through these 8 guitars. It chops things.
If I can invent a karate glove, just imagine what you can do. Visit inventnow.org to get started on your invention. Anything's possible. Keep thinking.
Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
It's Hi-Ya time!
Your home, it's your dream. Radon test and living healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. Now that's living healthy and green. For radon is easy. Just call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Here's an idea. You've heard of the notion of pay it forward? It comes from the 2000 movie Pay It Forward. Basically, the premise is helping someone with no expectations of payback, providing assistance to someone, passing information on, simply doing a good deed for a total stranger, and instead of allowing them to pay it back, ask them to pay it forward. Doing favors for other people and asking them to do the same. The principle is the same as multi-level marketing, except that instead of soap or vitamins, it's generosity between strangers that is being passed on. Pay It Forward is mentoring, it's volunteering in your community, it's shoveling a neighbor's snow, or cutting an elderly person's grass for them, or taking a senior to the store. Don't wait for someone else to do something good. Do it yourself. It starts with you. Talktainment Radio strongly embraces the notion of pay it forward. In fact, we just did.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
TalkTainmentRadio.com. We go where you go. The world's greatest radio. Radio the way it should be heard. Why? Pure water from the tank. I think this is a wonderful match. This is almost like they say the perfect match. Pure water and Tank the nurse. You know, because a tank could be a water tank. It can be an oil tank, be a water tank. Tonight it's a water tank. So a water tank with pure water, real water, not that fake stuff. And you know what? Before we go back to what you were telling us before we took the break, it just made me think about when I was in the military. And you know, one of the biggest things that we did as a medic, I was a medic in the Army, and we always had water tablets. And I mean, we had all kind of water tablets because we always had to be able to drop these tablets in water to make it good, you know, water for us to drink.
Oh, wow.
Because when you're out in war, I was in Desert Storm, you can't always find a good water source. So we had so many different things and pellets that we carried to make sure that we could always get a good water source. But that was not always the case. Right. And actually being a Desert Storm veteran, we came back with some things and some illnesses and different things. And a lot of it was based on the food and the water source. Because, you know, there's nothing that you can do to control that. You know, the earth has so much water, but the problem is being a good water source. And that's where we left off. You know, we were talking about how, why pure water and how your filtering system works. And I had mentioned that how the hose takes the impurities and the things that it pulls out and takes it down the drain. Whereas I've known previous water systems that that's not the case. And so it all sits there. But it sounds to me like your water system mimics what happens in nature and removes the toxins and the chemicals and the things from water and leaves us with pure
oxygenated drinking water.
There you go.
Yeah.
So explain that to me again.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people that we work with kind of get worried, you know, oh, you got to use our water here. Our water's gross. The true thing about our system is it runs through a 6-step purifying process. That it runs through your first filter as a sediment filter, takes care of all your rust, your dirts, your silts. It runs it through another filter called your carbon block filter, takes care of all your organics, your chemicals, your solvents, your chlorines. Then it runs it through a system, what's called reverse osmosis, or RO.
Yes.
It's actually a rubber membrane that's 200 times smaller than a human hair. Water gets pushed through there. Any water that's rejected could be carrying your leads, your mercuries, your arsenics. Then it runs it through another filter called another carbon block filter. That's kind of like the final polish. It helps with smell and taste of your water. And then it gets stored in a 3-gallon activated oxygen injected tank. So what that means is we actually pump oxygen from the air, run it through an air filter, and then it gets injected into our tank, which then turns into healthy, purified drinking water that's been oxygenated. So
I just love when I hear that. Healthy, purified drinking water.
Absolutely.
It's music to my ears. So, like you said, the body is made up of approximately 70% water.
Absolutely.
Therefore, you know, we don't need to drink. You know, I agree. If we're drinking pure water, we can drink less than our body weight. But if we're not, we need to drink more. The minerals in water are in an inorganic state. The human body cannot really accept those minerals because just like we know how they ruin batteries or irons or humidifiers, or we were talking on the break about the Keurig and how, you know, all that inorganic matter will cause you to have to clean your equipment with vinegar or something else and run it through, but not when you use pure water.
Absolutely.
You know, it gets rid of all the inorganic material that should not be in our water. So the body needs minerals, but it doesn't necessarily need that they come from water. You know, our minerals and our enzymes should come from the plants that we eat.
Absolutely.
But our water should just be H2O. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I want to tell you some other, I have this book and I found some facts that I really wanted to share with you let's see if I can get this. Water is Deceiving. And this is a book that I have by Dr. Alan E. Bannock. Okay, he did a lot of research on water and why water is important. And then something just jumped in my mind, so just bear with me. That's how that water that's nice and solvent and got all those nice water molecules. Did you know that it is even a good thing to still take baths? We got to a society to where we take a lot of showers, but it is important to soak in water.
Absolutely.
Even if you just do that once or twice a week, or every other week, but water is so key to the body. It's
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. But okay, so here's my thing about Water is Deceiving by Dr. Allen. He said, what is in a sparkling glass of water may look pure, taste pure, smell pure, but you will still have to drink it at your own risk. Here are some suggestions. The water must flow from the purest possible source, pure water filter. Adequate safeguards must prevent pollution of this source. And that's what your system does with the way that the tubing runs the minerals back out and into the drain.
Yep.
Frequent surveys must be done to detect potential health hazards. And I think on my machine, it kind of gives me a little sensor to let me know when something is not right. It must be an enforceable system of rules and regulations, must prevent the development of health hazards, which even, unfortunately, our Columbus water does not do. Because if they can go into the schools and find lead in the water, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's not a little thing. That's huge.
Yeah.
Our kids are going to the water fountain getting water. They should take a water bottle.
Right.
Okay? Proper safeguards must protect water quality from the source to the house. Only qualified personnel may operate a good water supply system. Bacteria should be monitored in our water source. And we know that to be so because, a lot of small bacteria can be in water without us even knowing it. And it's sad that some bottled water we know is just simply coming from a tap.
Yep.
Not even coming from a pure source.
Absolutely.
The last thing was, again, we have nitrates, phosphates, different chemicals that have been found, chromium-6, arsenic, lead, mercury, all of these things, even things that they're putting in our water like chlorine and fluoride should not be in our bodies in excess amount. Those are trace elements and they should only be found in trace amounts.
Absolutely.
So if I was to, you said that with pure water system, it's only in businesses.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we actually, we're strictly in businesses simply for the reason there's a lot of businesses out there that have what a lot of people realize is the 5-gallon jugs. But a lot of companies are moving away from those due to health risks. You had mentioned bacteria. Bacteria is really big, and the reservoirs of those tanks. Who knows
they don't clean them.
They don't clean them. You're supposed to have vinegar and all this other stuff, hot water to get that bacteria out of there, but they're not cleaned to the standard. So a lot of people are finding bacteria. They're having issues with workers' comp claims because those jugs are 50 pounds. Nobody wants to lift those. Nobody wants to take care of that. Our system is, it's how you see it. You don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to
just push a button.
Just push a button. If you want hot water, 2 buttons, but pretty much does itself. So a lot of people love that.
Yes, and I found it that I actually allow my people to come and fill their bottle up because you know what? If you take care of the people that work for you, they will take care of you.
Absolutely.
And you would be surprised. I don't know if you've ever done this test, but this is something that you can do. You will be surprised how happy people are by drinking water. And can I tell you one reason? The gut is the second brain. So water, and I also like to talk about poop. Just so you know.
Okay.
Okay. There's a couple of topics that I really love. Water being one, essential oils, good food source, and how healthy your colon is. Because I say if you are not eliminating the number of times you eat is the number of times you should go. Okay? And nobody wants to talk poop. But the truth of the matter is poop also determines our health and wellness. But I have a granddaughter. She's 5 years old. And since she drinks pure water, she now goes regular and she feels better. Because when you are backed up or when you're not eliminating, it affects your brain, it affects your mood. So, guess what? People become happy when they drink good water.
Yeah.
See, another thing I taught you. So, I allow people to fill their bottle up because, again, a good water source is key to wellness. It's key to feeling well, and it increases energy.
Absolutely.
Okay? When your body feels good, think about it. Those 1 trillion cells are happy, like mine's, doing the happy dance. So they travel to tissue, and those cells make happy tissue. Those tissues make happy organs, which make happy body systems, which makes a happy body.
Absolutely.
It's just very easy to get
all flows together. That's
right. All flows together. So one of the things that to say why people really need to take this serious, our water source, if our water source is contaminated, then guess what? Our soil is contaminated. If our soil is contaminated, then our plants and our animals are contaminated. And if our plants and animals are contaminated, then we are contaminated. And remember, like we said in the beginning, water is the solvent that gets rid of all those toxins that can push those toxins out, because there's nothing we can do to get rid of toxins. There's nothing we can do to not take in them. There are just so many in several different ways in our environment. So we need a good water source to flush our bodies.
Absolutely.
That's why I call it life force energy.
Yeah.
The best solvent that we can use to help our body is water. So the other thing that I was talking about was, so you mentioned how your machine works. We talked a little bit about it's only in businesses, so not something that right now, at least
absolutely.
Until I meet your boss. And then I'll say, Tank needs one in her home, right?
Yeah, that's the number one question we get is, why don't we have these for homes? I think it's something that down the road we're going to eventually get into, just because we've had so many people that want them for their house.
Well, and to be honest, if we can get them in the schools and we can get them in the workplace, because most people work more and are at home less.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, that is the United States. Even our kids spend more time at school and away from us than they do at home.
Absolutely.
That's why people say that, their influence is huge, because we only get them for a short period of time, and then you put them to bed, your children or your grandchildren in my case, and then they're back to where they're in that environment majority of their day.
Yeah.
And you don't drink water while you sleep.
No.
Your body is in repair mode when you sleep. So while we are awake, we should drink the best water and as much of it as we can to help flush our system.
Absolutely.
And that goes back to a good reason why we should wake up to a glass of water. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So disease does not exist without a cause. It begins where cause begins, and it persists where cause persists. Chronic disease usually comes from body drought. Diabetes is a body drought dis-ease. High blood pressure is a dis-ease of dehydration and body drought. It is your body trying to sequester all of the fluid in order to make sure that the brain and the heart has what it needs. So, a lot of people don't believe that when I say water really does do and cure what ails the body, when our brain is dehydrated, we have fog brain. So I talked a little bit about poop. Now I need to say a little bit about urine. Do you know that's the best way to know that the body is dehydrated? You can do your own self-analysis. You don't have to go to a doctor. If you go to the restroom and your urine is of a dark yellow, hopefully it's not amber or really dark, but if you go to the restroom and your urine has a color to it, you're dehydrated.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you don't need anyone to tell you that. You can just look, and then you know, I need to drink more water. Tank said drink more water. And you drink water until your urine is clear.
Yep.
And you will feel amazing. Now, I know because it happened in the military, and a lot of people are concerned about the bathroom. You know, I don't want to drink water because then I got to go to the bathroom a lot. But what's the opposite of that? Dis-ease, chronic dis-ease, and problems in our body. So I encourage people, drink water.
Absolutely.
You know, and if you drink enough in the morning before you leave the home, if you start drinking it when you get up, and then you can drink quite a bit in the evening. You know, I would say cut off about 7, because then you want your body to go, you know, when you go to bed from 10 to 2, you want your body to be physically in that repair mode. So you don't have to drink a lot in the evening. And I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of times the reason that people are dehydrated is when you're drinking those water solutions, your body does not see that as water. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So if your water solution has electrolytes in it, you know, that's the thing now. Electrolytes, your body does not recognize that as water. It recognizes that as a contaminant.
Oh, wow.
So that does not get into your cells, so it just kind of flushes through. It's like having a bucket with a hole in it, so you pour the water in, it comes right out. When you drink pure water, your cells will actually absorb because it gets into your cells, it gets into that oxygen and water and plumps up your cells, so you hold on to it. But not in a negative to where you get edema or anything like that, but your body gets what it needs to help it do the processes that are needed. So that's why we need to drink pure water.
Absolutely.
So that's one way of telling that your body is good, is by just looking at your urine, and then you'll know if you need to drink water. Let's talk real quick a little bit about pH, because we didn't talk about that. Everybody is on this kick about, I need a alkaline water. It needs to have a high pH. Tell me a little bit about the pH level.
It varies with water. I know the big kick, what people are saying on, Dr. Phil and stuff like that, is you gotta get water with alkalinity in it. It's the most important, it's most valuable for your body. But once again, having a water that's had these added contaminants, is what I would call them, isn't necessarily purified drinking water.
It's not. It's not water at all.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
So anything that you're adding to your water isn't, you're not making it water.
Right.
You can have sodas that, the first ingredient is water, but it's not purified drinking water, and you're adding things to it that shouldn't be there.
Well, and this is the thing. Okay, hopefully I can give you another nugget. I love dropping nuggets, but did you know that the only part of your body that is alkaline and needs to be alkaline is your large intestines and your blood?
I did not know that.
So that's it. If you check, all of your body organs need to be acidic.
Okay.
And people get that confused because they say an alkaline body, sickness cannot be in an alkaline body. It's your blood needs to be alkaline. Your large intestines need to be alkaline. Every other part of your body and organ needs to be acidic. Okay? So with pure water, the pH is actually at a good state of 7.
Absolutely.
And maybe a little higher than 7, but typically not over 8. and not 6.5. So when your pH is there, it does what the body needs. And the best way to tell if you're acidic or alkaline is to simply look up the symptoms of being alkaline. If that's what you have, then you know you're too alkaline and you need to be more acidic. If you look up, the symptoms to acidity, and that's what you have, then you know you need a little bit of alkaline. But when you take in 7.0 pH water, or something close to it, 7.4, what have you, the body does what the body is supposed to do.
Right.
It's such a wonderful machine that if you give it pure water, just like if you give your gas the right fuel, the body will do what it's designed to do. It will repair, it will rebuild, it is very forgiving, and you will have a happy body with 100 trillion happy cells. So, if I wanted to get a hold of you, other than come to the tank to get some pure water, how could we get a hold of you?
So our branch is actually in Dublin, Ohio, and we have other salespeople, but you can certainly contact me. My number is 614-657-8003, or you can email me at edutcher@purewaterohio.com, and I can certainly help you out with those needs.
That's right. And I'm going to have that information on tankthenurse.com. And I believe that you're going to come over to Wednesday Wellness at the Wellness Spot.
Absolutely.
At 4550 Heaton Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43229. And you're going to help do a water class with me.
Yeah.
So people can come in person. They can taste this pure water, see how it feels in your mouth, how it just flows down so easy. And they can, see the system, talk to you, talk to the tank, get some pure water from the tank.
Yeah.
And we do that every Wednesday. We have those free wellness classes. And they can go to tankthenurse.com and look at the events and see when we have scheduled the water class.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Absolutely.
I love that. Pure water from the tank.
Yep.
You know, water is so vital. It's so vital for our brain, for our energy. And I hear people all the time come to me and say, how can I increase my energy? I'm so tired. How can I get rid of this brain fog? Water.
Drink water.
Drink water.
Good.
I have a headache. Drink water. My back hurts. Drink water.
Yep.
You know, my son, he went to the emergency room and they gave him water.
Yeah. Expensive water, I'm sure.
Yes, expensive water. He not only had a deductible, but he got nothing but water and a nice bill. And then he came back and he said, I guess you were right. I needed water. So water truly is key to life. And, you know, water is what increases our focus. There's nothing like it. All organs in the body, all muscles, all cells. You know, like I say, I tell people all the time, we're doing cellular work.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing with water. Now, before I go, I saw something in your literature about a lot of awards that pure water got because, you know, some people, it's hard to tell what's real good water and what's not. You know, it's so many different sources of water. Like I said, there's 9 different types of water. But then when we look at the different places that sell water, I'm looking for my page. You know, you all have actually won a lot of awards behind this pure water technology.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are actually the #1 dealer for PHSI in the nation. So we've really worked hard to establish that with the dealer or with the manufacturer, and also since our corporate office is located in Cleveland, we have a lot of sustainability awards because not only is it good to be drinking healthy, great water, but it's also great to be going green as well.
That's right.
So.
Go green, save the environment, drink pure water. TankTheNurse.com. And you've been with the Wellness Spot. TalkTainmentRadio.com. We go where you go. Choose life. Choose wellness. And today, choose water.